Aho, this message today is one that came in very clear, very strong this morning. The word I heard is reflection. So I asked God Source, what is it that you want us to know around reflection? And so what I received is that God is asking everyone to slow down and take the time to really reflect on what has been going on and where we see ourselves. So it's not the same as what we want, like for our goals. It's more of what is it that we want for the collective, for our world, for our children. And I want you guys to really take this message in and to process it, to reflect on it, because we're in a time right now of this whole process, of this whole ascension, that it is very important, very crucial that everybody really understands that our individual role is a big part of what is happening. And I know that there's been this, out of sight, out of mind, or whatever you don't focus on, then is not in your life or it doesn't get manifested. And I touched on this before, and I am being called to talk about it a little bit more again. And so there is truth to that, but there's also the part of where there is a misinterpretation in that phrase, or that us not focusing on something, that it will not get manifested. And that does work for some of the stuff, or most of the stuff that is as an individual part of our life. But when it is something that is really affecting the collective, then our role is very crucial and important. So in other words, it will affect us. And I know that I said this before, but I feel like you're not really reflecting on some of the messages, and it is important that we slow down, we look in the mirror, so to speak, and we ask ourselves, how is it that we are participating or not participating in the ascension or the process of this global reset, of this human healing that is happening. And the reality is that we all are called to bring our medicine in and to making a difference in helping this process, because we are all being asked to do our part, and so that this whole process can transition a lot smoother. There's people, and I'm aware of this, that will never understand or even have a clue that there was ever a healing that took place, because this is what is really happening. We're going through a massive healing, and that's when people, us as humans, we go through the next phase, or the next, ascension in our own personal being or experiences here on earth. It's the unlayering of going through the traumas and unpacking the things that we've experienced throughout life. Well, that's what's happening now as a collective. However, some people may never choose to work on themselves and say they will never have to experience going through the ascension process, which is a lot of work, a lot of hurt. But God is saying right now it's not a time to bypass doing the work, because in order for this process to be complete, it is going to require for us to participate. And that is whether it's doing work on ourselves, or as I said before, if you have a gift, a medicine that you can bring into this process, then you are being called to action. So that reflection is checking to see where you're at. How are you showing up? Are you utilizing your gifts in the best way that you can? And, or are you bypassing? Are you ignoring? Are you looking the other way because it's uncomfortable? And it's okay for us to go through those moments, but at the same time, when we resist, it becomes more intense, it becomes more painful, it prolongs the process, because this is happening. This whole process is happening whether we are a willing participant or not. And that's where it comes in again as it being different, where we, is if we were to focus on something, then we manifest it. Well, this is not the case. What is happening is that it is already been set in action, so it's happening. And the way to get through it a lot quicker is for all of us to come together and help this process by either doing energy work, or if your gift is prayer, then that, it's not that's a gift, we can all do that, but I'm saying if that's where you're comfortable at as far as participating, then the prayer is super powerful. So if you want to meditate in the mornings and just only focus on the prayer of the collective and the ascension and the healing, then that is what your medicine, or what you're bringing into this whole collective process that we're experiencing. And so reflecting right now on where you're at as the again, collective, where are you placed, what's your role, how are you affecting the process, or how are you not affecting the process? And then also as an individual, are you resisting? What's going on with you? Do you, is there something that you can do to help yourself through this process? But it's really a time for us to slow down and just really assist navigating through this whole reset. It is a constant. So the way I'm experiencing it personally, maybe this will help you, is it's almost like a rebirth. It's not almost like, it is a rebirth that the whole world is going through. And so when we're going through the process of being born, it is pretty traumatic experience for the child. And I'm sure that we prefer to stay in our mother's womb, where it's warm and feels safe. We don't have to do anything. We're there, we're being loved, and we're being taken care of. We can hear her heartbeat. We can, we just prefer to be there than come out to this experience, right? But the reality is that once we go and we come out and then we adjust, then we learn how to navigate through this new world, this new realm that we're in. And so we continuously are going through a rebirth. And so as we go through the rebirth, we are also experiencing the death of a lot of different traumas and experiences as the layers are coming off, because everybody is going back into the true source God energy. And in order for us to do that, we are unpacking everything that does not feel good. So again, doing the work and being a willing and active participant in this process, individually but also globally, is really, really going to help support the collective process. So whatever it is that your contribution is, or how it is that you can contribute, it's very important for you to know what that looks like, what that feels like, and really put it into action. And then the second part of the message is, it is very important for us to remember that touch is healing. As a massage therapist, I am very aware of how powerful touch is. And it's not just for the surface, for the physical. It really touches deep down layers of the energy up into the soul. And it promotes healing on so many different levels. And when we're going through things that are traumatizing, or are fearful, people want to feel reassured. People want to feel loved, protected. And so by just hugging each other, reminding each other that we're here for each other, is very important right now. When we hug each other, we are connecting hearts, heart to heart. And so we've been told for over a year now not to touch, stay distance, keep your distance, so on and so forth. And so what that is causing is a very, very deep traumatizing response to people touching each other. And so people are afraid to touch each other, and Spirit, God's source, is saying, no, it's important. This is what I have shown you, to love each other. And so when you are associating a hug to fear or to a disease or illness, that is not God's source energy. So you have to remember that there's people that have gone over a year now without touch, especially the elders. They have been isolated. They have been, left as forgotten. And so if you have somebody in your life that is feeling lonely or depressed, please, start reminding them that they have you there. Give them a hug, smiling at them. It's been so long that everybody's had their faces covered, and a smile brings so much joy, so much happiness. It shifts something in someone's brain when you see each other smile. So these are reminders that God is asking me to bring forth to you guys, that bringing that peace, that love, that prayer into each other's space is very important. So as always, please share these messages. Continue to do your part. Bring prayers in, and really, really take this message in and reflect on how or what you can do to help yourself and to help your loved ones, to help the collective, so that we can push through this as quickly as possible. And know that you are being protected, that you are loved, and that God is with you. Oh.